He played, what did he have, like 29 NFL seasons? 54 to 88. So his win-loss percentage is 61. He was 250 and 162. Playoff-wise, 20 and 16. 56% win percentage. 2 Super Bowl championships and 5 Super Bowl appearances. He never ranked lower than 7 in coaching. That's number 7 worthy for me. Chuck Noll of the Steelers from 69 to 91. His win-loss record, 193 and 148, 57% win percentage. Playoff-wise, 24 and 16. 16 and 8. And 68% in that. Never ranked lower than 4 in coaching. And 4 Super Bowl championships, 4-0 and all that. And Paul Brown, another football genius who kind of invented football, in a sense. He, 213 and 104, 67% win percentage. Playoffs, 9 and 8, 53% win percentage there. But you can't, and here is, so 3 championships and 7 appearances. 7 out of 10 years he made the Super Bowl. And yes, I'm calling it the Super Bowl. I don't care what anyone says. So 7 out of 10 years making the Super Bowl. He can easily be higher on this list, but I like these other coaches I picked ahead of him. Number 4 is Bill Walsh. 10 years of coaching. He went 92 and 59, 61% win percentage. 10 and 4 in the playoffs, 71%. And he was 3-0 in Super Bowls. Never ranked lower than 4 on the all-time, on the coaching list. Number 3, Don Shula. I think he's better than Bill Walsh. 2-time Super Bowl champion. His win-loss record was 328 and 156. That's 68% win percentage. Playoff-wise, 19 and 17, 53%. He made it to 6 Super Bowls, won 2 of them. So I did it with different guys and different players. That's number 3 for me. Now we got a tie at number 1. And that's only because Belichick has not proven himself without Brady yet. And I think he will. But I'm giving it a tie for now. It's a tie between Vince Lombardi and Bill Belichick. 1A is Belichick. 1B is Lombardi. Lombardi, 96 and 34. That's 74% win percentage. 9 and 1 in the playoffs. 90%. He was 9 and 1 in the playoffs. Never ranked lower than 3 on the coaching list. He made it to 5 Super Bowls and won all of them. He was 5-0 in the Super Bowl. Now, Bill Belichick. Let's see what the best coach ever did. 6-time Super Bowl champion, 3 Coach of the Year. His record, 280 and 136, that's 67%. Playoff-wise, 31 and 12, that's 72%. He has won 6 Super Bowls and made 9. So, and he never ranked lower than 5 on the coaching-wise. So, that's very close. I'm going to give it a tie for now for Lombardi and Belichick. And the other thing I wanted to go into, after that Chiefs one, I wanted to talk about the best dynasties. because these are the guys they got to pass. Number 10, and I think it's good that I have them at number 10. It's the 90s Bills. I like the 90s Bills. 4 Super Bowls. I think that counts for a number 10 dynasty. They can't go any higher. Because they can't be dynasties that won Super Bowls, obviously. But I'm going to give them number 10 because they did make 4 Super Bowls in a row. That's tough to do. So they deserve some recognition here. I feel like if they played today, because a lot of the times people pay attention, if they played today, they wouldn't be that good. I think the 90s Bills would have been built for this. Great running back, great quarterback, great receiving core, and a good enough defense and a good coach. I feel like they would be the Titans. Tannehill's a good quarterback. Henry's the best running back. They remind, and then they have 2 good receivers. They had Lofton and Andre Reed. They have Brown and Corey Davis. So it's a dominant. They're dominated by their offense, and they have a good coach, Mike Vrabel. So the 90s Bills remind me a lot of the Titans. Number 9 is the 70s Raiders. They could have been so much better. I mean, the Raiders are a very unfortunate team. The immaculate reception, the tuck rule. There's just a lot of things that didn't go their way. I think they were a great. That 70s Raiders team reminds me a lot of the Rams right now, because they didn't have the best offense, but they had a good enough offense to lead them to success, and they had a great coach, Sean McVay, and they have a phenomenal defense. Number 8 is the 70s Dolphins. Great coach. They remind me a lot of the Colts more, because I don't think the 70s Dolphins would do too well today. They won 2 Super Bowls. The early 70s Dolphins are a great team. They won 2 Super Bowls, made 3. Don Shula. This is where Don Shula proves a success, because the Dolphins were a laughingstock, and he took them and made them one of the best teams ever. But they would not, because Bob Greasy at quarterback. I can't even call for who their team was. They had a good but all I know is they had a good coach, or a legendary coach. Obviously, Frank Reich has a proven legend status, but he's a good coach. They have a pretty good receiving core. Good, it's good, not great. The Colts have the real deal at running back. I don't know how the Dolphins handled that, but I know the Dolphins had a great defense. Colts have a great defense. I think that's a good comparison. Number 7 is the 70s Cowboys. Tom Landry, legend. They had a great quarterback, great receiver, Drew Pearson, and a pretty good defense. They remind me a lot of the Bills right now. Great quarterback. They have a number 1 receiver that his go-to is. They don't have really a standout running back, but they had a great coach. I think the Bills won. I think this is the perfect comparison for them, for the 70s Cowboys. I think they would be the Bills. Great quarterback, Roger the Dodger. Great coach. Great receiver, and a good defense. Number 6, the 50s Browns. You know what's ironic here? The 50s Browns remind me a lot of the Browns today. A good quarterback in Otto Graham, a great quarterback, probably better than I think, but and they have and they had a dominant running back, Nick Chubb, Jim Brown. They didn't really have a standout receiver or a standout defense, but they had great quarterback, great running back, and a great coach. Stefanski, Mayfield, Chubb, 50s Browns, Paul Brown, Graham, Brown. Number 5 is the 90s Cowboys. I think they're a lot like the Titans as well. Great wideout, great quarterback, great running back, good defense, great coach. But they also remind me a lot of the... They are the Seahawks with the running game. They're the Seahawks with a better running game. Great quarterback, Russell Wilson, Troy Aikman. Great receiver, Metcalf, Michael Irvin. Great coach, Jimmy Johnson, Pete Carroll. And they had a pretty good defense. Seahawks have a great defense, though. Number 4 is the 80s Niners. They remind me of the Packers. They do. Great quarterback, Rogers Montana. Best receiver in the league, Adams, Rice. Respectable running back, Craig Jones. Good defense and a great coach, LaFleur Walsh. That's what they remind me of. Number 3 is the 70s Steelers. They remind me a lot of the Dolphins. They have a good... I think the Dolphins have a good quarterback. Although he hasn't proven himself yet, I think he's good. But the 70s Steelers are the Dolphins with a passing game. Respectable running back, Harris Gaskin. They have a good receiver, Lynn Swann, and Devontae Parker. Great coach, Brian Flores, Chuck Noll. And a great stout defense. Alright, number 2 is the 60s Packers. Honestly, I think a lot of these teams would actually not do that bad today. The 50s Browns would probably struggle the most, but you can't penalize teams like the 70s Dolphins and the 50s Browns just because they were built to win in that era. You're built to win in a certain era, and they won. That makes them a great dynasty. So you can't penalize them for that. But anyway, 2 60s Packers. Great quarterback, good running back, great defense, great coach. Reminds me a lot of they are the Ravens with better coaching. Great quarterback, Bart Starr, Lamar Jackson. They don't have the best receiving core, but Starr and Jackson make it work. Great coach, Vince Lombardi, John Harbaugh. Great defense, and great running game. Number 1 is the 2000s Pats, the 21st century Pats. They don't really have a comp because they are the they're the Pats. I guess you could say I don't even know how to compare them. I mean, they're just not comparable. I mean, they're a really good team. Anyway, I wanted to get into my next topic now that I've done the dynasties and coaches. Top destinations for Watson. And there are 8 teams that I think will get Watson. Have a chance of getting Watson. So, number 8 is the Broncos. Alright, so for Watson, I think number 8 is the Broncos because... I mean, I just don't see... They just seem like they need a lot of rebuilding, and Watson doesn't want to be in a rebuilding place right now. Courtland Sutton is a pretty good receiver, but I mean, they just don't seem to have any pieces. They just seem to really have to rebuild. They need a new coach. They gotta move off Vic Fangio. I mean, their defense is okay, but that's just not a place for Watson to go right now. Number 7, I know a lot of people think the Panthers are a good destination, and I think so too, but I don't think they're better than the next 6 teams I'm going to mention. The Panthers are a great destination, though. Great running back, Christian McCaffrey. They need work on their receiving core. They need work on that. But Matt Rule, I like Matt Rule. I think he's a good coach. What they need, receivers and some defensive pieces. And I just don't think Watson wants to deal with that right now. Number 6 is the Pats. I do think Belichick is going to winning 7 games. I don't know how they won 7 games this year. They should not. They did not have the talent to win 7 games. I don't think Cam Newton's a good quarterback. He might be. Like I said, a lot of opt-outs. That played a role. But I think going with Belichick has never been a bad idea.